It's a wonderful approach to media creation is pick incredibly interesting subjects which do most of the heavy lifting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
Well, are we talking about insurance or we're still on Joe Rogan?
Our listeners will never know.
Good to see you again. It's been a while. It's been a day or two.
It's true. And by the way, a ton of people that I've met since the last time I was on the podcast, they keep asking me questions about Dennis Rodman, because that's what we talked about last time. We opened up, not talking about our hunting preferences. We were talking about Dennis Rodman. And so now it keeps coming up in all these conversations I'm in, which is great for me because I find myself talking about Dennis Rodman more than ever. It's awesome.
No, listen, one of the biggest benefits or the feedback that I received about this podcast is that people have some sort of a social hook. And especially at the beginning, how we start is like, hey, what's your hobby? Let's show that you're a real person and you're not just, a founder that is working 25 hours a day, a little bit of that part. And then when they actually approach one of the speakers, one of the guests of the show, it's like, oh, let's talk about this. Or, well, not that way. They don't structure it this way. It's like, oh, I heard this, I heard that. I heard that you're a musician. What do you play? And, so with you it will be, carpentry. What's your style of building, or what kind of tree houses do you build? By the way, in Columbus, do you have any trees or?
That's a good one, actually. I used to build, so I ended up building 9 tree houses. Yeah.
This is beautiful because you froze for a second. So I'll just nod and say, oh yeah, fantastic. But let me try to get us back into it's been almost a year since we last met. And
almost a year.
ITC is just around the corner.
We're looking forward. I'll be there this year, as I have been every year, I think since ITC started. And then we'll have, I think, a few others from our team as well. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. So how was 2022 for you?
$2022's been a really fun year for us thus far. We've been doing some internal and external work that's all kind of converged in the past 30 days or so as a business. The big external news is that we just rebranded, but we're still known as Beam. We used to be Beam Dental, which was a dental-focused InsurTech. These days, we're known as Beam Benefits, which I think really speaks to some of the internal work that our teams have been focused on really over the past year or so, which has been maturing our product roadmap based on feedback that we've received from the brokers that we distribute with, as well as, and in particular, our customers who have been wanting Beam to expand beyond dental for a long time now. And we're really excited to be now kind of officially rolling out Beam Benefits, which will be creating simple, smart, and wellness-focused benefits products of many different types, not just dental. So these days, our dental core for employers large and small in 43 states is going to be increasingly complemented by vision, life, disability, and supplemental health products as well, which really serve as the core ancillary benefits product mix that today's employers need to attract and retain talent.
Okay, great, fantastic. Alex, thank you very much for being on the show. I think that, I think that we covered everything. Or should we go back to the basics, which is, okay, let's give people a quick refresh about how you reach Beam Dental and the famous toothbrush, and then how it came that now you're dealing with disability, vision, and what it meant to grow the team to have that capacity.
Yeah, it's I think part of the reason why we thought it made sense at this juncture of the business to do this benefits expansion is because we've learned so much about the customer experience needs and how they scale across the entire life cycle or customer journey for the members that we work with, the employers, and the brokers. There's so many common issues, regardless of what type of insurance you're talking about or what benefit you're talking about. Everybody struggles with getting quoting right, new case install, onboarding, consolidated billing, claims processing, customer service, functioning portals. These are all very common problems, and Beam's lucky to have constructed a scalable platform that worked great for dental, but also applies to those same components of the customer journey for these new products as well. So we already had, in effect, a really good head start as we started to look at some of these new benefits products. And so then from there, we've been focused on adding the DNA to our team to have the expertise we need to be able to articulate our life, sup health, disability programs in a way that will be just as scalable as our dental program's been.
Now, do you think that, well, you already had a hook, so I assume that you started by working with existing customers and then basically taking sort of over the competition on the other benefits. Was it hard to find the people that can help you to increase that knowledge, or as you say, the DNA of the company to support, for example, vision, or which vision many people will think, oh, it's very similar to dental, but then disability. And do you provide long-term care?
Not long-term care, but long-term disability is in the product mix these days. And you're right, many of these products are very dissimilar from each other in terms of the construction and feature set of the products themselves, even if they're commonly bundled together at the point of sale. So for us, going out to the market and finding great partners that have this experience and expertise. I'm a dental insurance expert for sure, but I'm not on some of these other products. And so really rounding out our product teams, our business development and sales leadership with folks that really know how to service and support these products and all of their many nuances has been a really important part of our hiring profile and our hiring plan for the past year. And we've been really successful there. We have some amazing experts from around the business, many of whom are 15, 20, 25-year veterans of some of the best benefits companies in the world. And we're very fortunate to have them on our team, helping us not just deliver these products, but deliver them in a new way, digitally native, with a focus on being differentiated in the same way that our dental has been from the status quo in that industry.
By the way, I must know, did you add to the vision some sort of a gimmick like the toothbrush for the dental?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
We're still very excited about expanding our wellness platform, which we use with our connected electric toothbrushes today on the dental side. So nothing's public yet, but you should expect some really exciting new features and expansions to that wellness program coming in the next 6 months. Some of that will speak to the Vision product for sure.
I can say, subscription for carrots, just to make sure that your eyesight is good, and it's also good for you in terms of wellness. It carrots less, all kinds of sweets. Recently, I read that the guys from Zurich launched something with the Polar. So, it's a little bit different. It's more for life and wellness included inside. So very similar to the Vitality program that we've seen. Are you going to play in that realm, or more coming from pure benefits, B2B? Here is our amazing dashboard. This is the better way, or part of your advantage compared to the other benefits or InsurTech benefit providers?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think when we think about our wellness program, we want to impact we want to impact the customer at the client level, like the HR administrator, and at the end member level as well. So Vitality is actually a good proxy for what I think of as a really great established wellness platform. We are going to go to the next level of integration between the wellness program's product offering and the products themselves. And so as every day you're doing actions on our platform that add points into the wellness program that can be redeemed for various rewards, those will be tied to the quality of the insurance programs as well, or the core benefits offerings. And that deep integration is, as you know from this being true in the industry broadly, very difficult for the large incumbents to do well, because there are so many different vendors to manage, and it's difficult to integrate things even if you have unlimited budgets to do so. But it turns out nobody does, and so these integrations end up being pretty disjointed in the customer experience. We're bringing everything together pretty seamlessly to be able to make our customers go through a user experience flow that feels really seamless, even if we have partners that are making offers separate from things being manufacturers itself.
Are these your products or you're selling someone else?
A little of both. We're taking a very first principles approach to the construction of this platform. In some cases, that means we will manufacture our own product from soup to nuts, the way we did with the brush. For example, we manufacture that product and own it soup to nuts. But in other cases, we'll work with vendors who we think are doing already an amazing job of delivering a financial wellness solution or a mental health solution, or maybe a gym membership. There's all kinds of options in this space, and small employers usually don't, interact with these sorts of programs. They tend to be for larger companies. So we're really inspired by the idea of bringing some of these vendor solutions down market to smaller businesses.
Yeah, I just wonder how close it is to the problem that usually we see in commercial lines of selling to the SMBs, right? Because that's like the biggest thing that is how to sell or to crack. How do you sell to the small business? Not just the benefits, but, well, in this case, it will be BOP and other types of GLPL. No, it's like, for you, what's the challenge? Are you working with the smaller ones, or what's your typical customer? What size of a business?
Yeah, typical for us is small. It's under 50 employees is average for us. And so we're very used to this challenge around how to cost efficiently find and administer benefits on behalf of these very small companies. But we really love that segment. We think that customer is a very unloved customer, and we want to give them big company benefits, even though they're not a big company. And our capacity to do so has never been bigger because of how automated and scalable our platform is. And these days we have such strong distribution relationships all over the country on a national scale that we feel really confident that as we introduce some of these big company benefits to small business, that not only will they appreciate what they now have access to that they didn't previously, but our distributors are very eager to tell this story to their smaller clients anyway, which is, instead of saying like, no, sorry, we can't offer that thing to you because you don't have enough employees, they can now say, here's an option for you. I've found a way for you to be able to do what you're trying to do for your employees.
So did the big walk impact you, or in a positive or a negative way? The fact that during COVID, I don't know, people got accustomed to working from home or just getting free money that they will need to return one day, and people just, quit their job everywhere.
small business sector's been really resilient actually throughout COVID. So we haven't seen really any disruptions in our book of business or our ability to grow really quickly. Except for like right at the very beginning of COVID, for sure. That was like a everybody froze in place moment, I think. But what's really interesting is that because of the transformation to more remote and hybrid work, employers are thinking about benefits in a much more scalable way than they did previously. So an example of this is imagine a small business that previously was only all the employees were located in one city. Their benefits products might have been also very limited because they were only solving for an employee population that wanted to make sure parking was free or something near the office. And so that company transforming to a remote business now needs to solve a new set of problems, like parking doesn't matter anymore, or it only matters to a small percentage of our employees. So now we want to offer pet insurance because everybody has a pet and they're at home all the time, and a lot of people have purchased pets and added them to their families over the past couple of years. And so now there's a new set of catalysts to be a different type of benefits buyer in the market. And we think that's a really exciting transformation that we want to help employers navigate, since many of them want to increase the scope of their benefits programs, but they don't have the time, attention, or expertise to do it themselves. And that's where we think Beam can come into play and be that advisor and that platform on behalf of the company and their broker.
Yeah, that ray of light or ray of sun that will beam on the way to their benefits and how they can actually do something. I don't know. I'm trying to do some sort of
I love it.
trying to play with that. It can be a nice slogan later on. Will shine on your benefit and your path towards wellness and happy life. I don't know.
Illuminating benefits.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's Buddha said it. I don't know. Prove me wrong. Put it in a meme. And then you'll know that it's most definitely happened. That will be a real quote. No, that's super cool. Yeah. Which basically this is me saying like, give me a second to think about what I want to ask you next, because I lost my train of thought earlier, because there are so many other things that we can talk about, right? Yeah. Which actually now I completely lost my train of thought.
Oh my God. What's new with you? Tell me that. I love it. I'm also excited inside of ITC to attend Group Tech Connect as well. It's been, even though there's just so many folks across the industry that attend ITC, the benefits world and the life and health side of the industry, I think, has been a little bit underrepresented historically. And so having more of a home base and a nucleus of folks that are closer to my business, I think is going to be really exciting. And so I'm looking forward to that in particular. I agree. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to be there this year. It's going to be great. And I'll see you there, right?
Of course. Yeah. Again,
Love it.
I'll be walking the hallways, interviewing people, and hopefully, at the end of the day, it's which party we're going to attend.
Love it.
Cool.
There will be no shortage of options.
Oh yeah. I've surprisingly, well, it's still August, so I have only 2 invites at this point.
They're all coming. Don't worry. Especially once you put this podcast out, they're going to accelerate.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we need to figure out which part of it's a little bit too much information and cut it out, but we'll try to keep as much as possible, So tell me, what's next for you?
Our plans for the next, let's say, 12 months are really exciting and mostly in place at this point. We're going to be systematically rolling out and expanding new benefits products as part of this Beam Benefits platform. And we plan to bring out 5 to 7 new products over the next year. So we're really excited about the pace of that and the impact it's going to have on our customers who, like I mentioned earlier, are going to go from being a very unloved customer segment to having all these new options and products at their fingertips on a unified platform that provides a seamless customer experience that feels easy to use, easy to understand, and easy to engage with. And I think that's really exciting to our team internally. And as we started rolling out our Beam benefits language and product roadmap to many of our broker partners, really exciting to them as well, because they already think of Beam as fresh and modern for their clients that are looking for something fresh and modern. And so the ability to position Beam in a broader context opens them up to growing more with Beam across a bigger percentage of their book of business, which we think is really exciting.
Now remind me, are you doing also direct or only through the brokers?
We work with brokers. So we work through brokers in a variety of ways. We have some digital marketplaces. We do work in specialty channels like PEOs, for example, but general agencies is another good example. But we do the vast majority of our volume and sales with the help of a broker. And we love partnering with brokers as well, because they have really critical expertise, especially when it comes to major medical and healthcare. And so it's important for their relationship and the credibility of their relationship with the client to spill over into the ancillary benefits world where we play. And so we are a very, very pro-broker business and always have been.
Ah, cool. Okay, let's start closing this. So I'm going to ask you the same last question that I asked you last time. Give us a recommendation. Something cool, it can be a book, a movie, a life hack, whatever you like.
I just finished rereading The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz from Andreessen Horowitz. Mm-hmm. And it's, I don't know how long it's been out, but let's say about a decade, something like that. And I hadn't read it in probably 3 or 4 years. And even though Beam is such a bigger and different company than it was the first time I read the book, the lessons, a whole new group of lessons from that book kind of jumped out at me. And so it was a reminder to me that not only is this book really good specifically, but rereading previous books is also really interesting because it's the same book, but I got totally different lessons out of it this time around.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. First of all, you have different experience, and it's always funny when we see, it's like the best example that I can give, it's like Fight Club, the movie. You see it once, then you see it twice, and then you start to recognize different things that you've never noticed unless you saw it the first time. And well, it's a really bad example, but at the end of the day, it's all about perspective and the experience, and revisiting something, especially with your experience and knowledge. It doesn't matter if you forgot part of it all, and it's more about what you learned since then. But yeah,
that's right. You got
that's
it.
Cool.
That's exactly it.
I try. Yeah, this is my philosopher point. And again, Fro. By the way, should people call you Fro or Alex?
Everybody calls me Fro. So when you're at ITC, just start right there. It saves us all a sentence, which is like, should I call you Fro? It's like, yeah, just start there. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's like, cool, wonderful. And then we can talk about hunting with the bow and arrow or building tree houses. Anyway,
that's right.
It's been a pleasure seeing you again. And remember, next time when someone brings you a Moscow Mule and said, "Oh, it was for that bald guy," it's me.
That's you. I love it. Good to see you, man.
Cheers. Have a good one.